And welcome again, everyone, to another edition of the BIS podcast, broadcasting live on the Martin Network, where our goal is to bring you updates in local government technology, and we always like to mix in a little bit of fun as well. Well, folks, on today's podcast, it's a special one because for the first time ever, we pulled one of BIS's biggest behind-the-scene powerhouses into the spotlight. She's the brains behind the brand, the strategy behind the sales, and the chaos slayer we all secretly call when things sort of hit the fan. It's her podcast debut, by the way. Please welcome our Chief Marketing Officer, Bree Collier. Bree, how you doing today?
Hey, Josh. I'm excited to be on here. It's a little weird being on this side of the mic, but I'm excited to talk about some organization and leading.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, just to let you know, folks, Bree also did not pay me to say that, by the way. That came all from my heart.
Aw, thank you.
Well, Bree, it's great to have you on. I'm excited to have you on again. The first time you've been on this side of the mic, and we're just glad to have you on. And today we're talking about organizational skills and leadership, not just the theory, but the habits, systems, and the mindset that power real success. So, Bree, let's kick it off. And what does being organized actually mean to you?
Yeah, Josh. So here's the deal. Most people think that being organized means having a color-coded calendar, zero unread emails. That's cute, but that's not it. To me, organization is clarity in motion. And what that is it's knowing what matters most, cutting the fluff, and building systems that work when your brain doesn't want to. And let's be honest, we all have those days where you just don't want to think about it. You're like, just what is my next task? What do I need to be doing? And organization is how I keep control of that chaos as a leader, and the clarity spreads like wildfire.
I love that, Bree. And clarity in motion. So, can you share a moment where being organized has really saved the day?
Oh yeah. So ever have you planned a full marketing campaign while onboarding a new client, while prepping for a conference, all while fixing team processes? Well, welcome to my Tuesday. Here's the truth. I don't wing it. I plan it with dates, subtasks, to-do lists for my teams. Then I can just show up and execute. It kind of takes that, brain power out of it when it's already set there for you. All the guesswork's taken out, what needs to be done next. And that's how I lead under pressure.
And I tell you, folks, she has got a plan to everything that she does. So, Bree, you talk about planning, and so let's zoom out just a little bit. You're the leading marketing and operations officer for BIS, building a personal brand, having a life outside of work, and somehow not living off caffeine and chaos. So, how do you actually balance life and leadership without burning out or losing your edge?
So honestly, you just decide who you want to be, and then you organize your life around that. I'm not driven by task. I'm driven by the vision. I want to be the best in all aspects of my life. And what that means is I don't have time for junk food decisions, mentally or literally. So every week I look at my calendar and I go, does this match who I'm becoming? Personally, work, all of it. If it doesn't, then I cut it out. And if it's a yes, then I double down, put all my effort into that. That's organization, that's boundaries, that's leadership from the inside out.
And that really, says something about you, Bree, just in telling folks about how really organized you are and what you bring to BIS and bringing those organizational skills and just keeping us all on track. So let's break this down for our listeners right quick. What are 5 practical organizational tips they can steal from you today?
Ooh, just 5. Okay, let's break it down. Some of my best ones that I've got. So number 1 is the weekly brain dump. So every Sunday I start down with a pen and paper and I go, okay, what is everything that's in my brain? Because everyone has that mental load of just, trying to keep up with everything in your head of like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So just getting that to pen and paper is so relaxing for your brain. Honestly, you're like, okay, here it all is. It's not as, daunting once you can see it all written out. So for me, I do mine every Sunday night. I write down what does my week need to get done, right? So like write it all out. And then after that, I look at it and go, what are the buckets? So number 2 is I put things in buckets and not really to-do lists. So for me, I've got marketing, ops, sales, personal, my workouts, all of that. Like, hey, what are my goals? Inside of those task lists. And then that way, if I can say, okay, this is just all for marketing, this is all for operations, then I can time block, my week. Monday, I'm going to knock out my marketing task. Tuesday, I'm going to knock out the sales task. That way, my brain stays in one gear instead of switching lanes every 5 seconds. Like I used to be that way, where it's like I was jumping from one bucket to the next every other task, and it's just not efficient. After that, having daily have to lists. So every night I look and go, okay, here's the master list for the week, but for tomorrow, what are my top 3 to 5 non-negotiable tasks that I'm not going to go to sleep until those are done? And what that did for me is like I was running around and I was getting a lot of stuff done and I was marking things off my list, but I was going to bed still feeling exhausted and still feeling like, did I even do anything that day? But if you go, hey, here are my 3 to 5 ones that are big tasks for me, the big ones I want to get done that next day. And then when you get that last one marked off at the end of the night, you feel accomplished. You feel better going into the following day. Number 4 is template everything. So if you see yourself doing it more than twice, build a template around it. Is it emails? Is it meeting agendas? Social media posts, whatever it is, systemize your repeatables because that frees up your brain power to where it's like autopilot, right? So then if you've got your teams that can help you do those type of things, it makes it easier to delegate. Hey, this is exactly how I've been doing it. You can easily pass that off and they know what your expectations are. And then my last one, my favorite one, number 5, is a workout reset. So I'm really a big believer on this. Make time for yourself every single day. For me, it's the gym. If I skip it, I feel like everything else is off. Even a 15-minute walk. I've noticed like, oh, you'll get busy, meetings to meetings, or, life gets a hold of you. And even if it's a 15-minute walk, get yourself out there, hey, you only have 10 minutes. Go get some sunlight, go for a walk. The mood boost and the clarity that comes from just getting outside, I cannot explain. Like it leads to better creativity, better follow through, and it really helps with not getting burnt out.
Awesome, Bree. And that's just not helpful. It's a lifestyle for everyone out there, planning your day a little bit and kind of working around your organizational type of skill of wherever that kind of helps you, especially out with the rest and kind of recover phase, Bree. It really can help you, be a better organizational leader. And for all our leaders listening out there, how do you lead others to be more organized without becoming, that person?
Oh, the micromanager monster, you mean? Yeah, don't be that. You lead your organization by molding it first. Let your team see you planning your week. Like, hey, if you went from being really unorganized to starting to be organized, they're going to see that. And they're like, hey, what are you doing differently? Give them those tips and tricks. Share your templates, offer structure. Biggest thing is like, you're not sitting there over their shoulder. You want to help them be better at their day. And here's the kicker. Once you give them that clarity, get out of their way. You don't need to make sure they're doing it. If they're doing it 80%, the way that you'd want it, that's great. Everyone's got their own little way of doing things, but if you're giving them the expectations and the templates to do it how you expect, then let them go at that point. Most people don't need a babysitter. I'm going to make a Casey analogy here. They need a clear scoreboard and permission to play to win. And I hope I've done that for you guys on the sales team and with the marketing teams.
You could say that in a way, type of
Yeah.
thing. No, let me tell you, folks, Bree is one of the best, people that I could ever ask for to work under, and she is one of the great leaders in BIS to really kind of promote her vision of what she wants us to do. And I hope that we kind of show as well, Bree, that we are following that vision that you've laid out.
Oh, 100%. And I did pay him to say that.
we'll,
No,
we'll, we'll, we'll take that part out. We'll take that part
right,
out. So
yeah.
no,
Okay,
no,
okay,
but
good.
hey,
Yeah, no one needs to know.
Bree, you've been great, to be on the podcast for your first time. Learned so much from you today. But before we wrap, I got to ask you, what would you say to someone listening out there who feels totally overwhelmed and disorganized right now?
I would say take a breath. You're not behind. You're just buried in the junk that doesn't belong in your future. So start small, one little cleanup at a time, one process at a time. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to build momentum. Your future doesn't need chaos. It needs clear, consistent, and for you to be fired up and want it. So start acting like the leader you're becoming. Show up for yourself every day because the world doesn't need another burned out doer. We need more confident leaders.
And I tell you, folks, if that doesn't light a fire under your desk right now, I don't know what will. Bree, we thank you so much for bringing that heat today. But before I let you go, any final words for the BIS crew and clients listening out there?
Yeah, look, no one's handing out trophies for color coded spreadsheets. So, being organized, it will not just change your life, but it bleeds into your teams, your results, your culture. Everybody wins. So, get clear, get focused, and go make some serious moves out there.
Hey, and I'm still, just before you mentioned trophies right there, I'm still getting mine next week, right?
Yes, of course.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just had to take care of
Yes,
the important
yes.
thing right there.
I
But
don't know.
no,
Do you
Bree.
have color coded spreadsheets though? I haven't seen any of those from you.
Oh, they're somewhere rather or another. Just they're I
Underneath the
just need
junk.
I need to get them better organized in that
Yeah, there you go.
But hey, Bree, I appreciate you joining the BIS podcast today, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you've got a busy one about, and just thank you so much for joining us, talking about leadership today, organizational skills, and we can't thank you enough for being on the podcast today.
All right. Thank you, Josh. I'll have to come back more often.
Hey, you have to. You have to. Well, we can't wait to have you back on. And thank you all for listening to this edition of the BIS podcast. We've been broadcasting live on the Marvin Network. For Bree Collier, I'm Josh Green saying until next time, so long and goodbye.